Entering into mysteries, and I knew I could grab your attention with this outfit. Guess where this outfit was acquired? Which country? Which country? Which country? I'm really enjoying these sleeves. You know, I had it in my closet for a while. And today I said, you know, this is a perfect dress for this conversation. So who wants to guess what country this dress represents? What country? I have a little hat, also have a little scarf. And while more people are joining, I'll show you it goes all the way, long, beautiful, very unique dress. Not something that I wear often, only when I travel to very special places. So no guesses? If you're gonna watch this as a replay, you're more than welcome to put it in the comments. And this, yeah, Alistair, exactly. It is Egypt. You know, so I got the little hat. Oh, it's a little warm. It's a little warm to wear it. But you know how in Egypt you see a lot of women wearing these black, fully black covers. They look like black ravens. And then you see these colorful dresses. So I go for the color. And I got this dress for the time on the cruise on the Nile. And this live stream, I wanted to share with you about my travel, my metaphysical passion for these very secret teachings that come to us from ancient Egypt. Right? From very, very old times, ancient Egypt. And even if we travel earlier, we can reach through Akashic records, through accessing these higher dimensions of cosmic library. And this is what mystics do. They use higher sensory perception to access cosmic library where all information is being stored, right? Everything that has ever been written, spoken, experienced is being stored in the universe library known as Akashic Ocean or Akashic Records. So when we read such profound teachings, profound writings of Helena Blavatsky, who was a Russian mystic, who brought the deep mystical teachings from the monasteries of Tibet. Welcome, everyone. This is Katarina. This is going to be a mystical transmission. I'm going to share with you why mystery schools are returning now. There is a prophecy that 1,000 or more mystery schools will be opening their doors during the time of Great Awakening, Great Transformation, and great uncertainty on the planet, which we're experiencing now. A lot of things are being collapsed, a lot of anxiety in the world, a lot of uncertainty in the world, and these spiritual teachings that can lift us up to a much bigger perspective. They are seeking those who are ready and receptive and open to them. So I started this live stream by showing you this very unique dress that I have. It's not just colorful, it's not just silky, but it comes from a specific country. Look at these, right? It comes from a specific country, and I said, who knows where I got this dress? And there was an answer. Egypt. That's exactly correct. So before I traveled to Egypt, which I took the journey in 2019, before I traveled to the country, right? I actually took many astral travels. I took many journeys into the inner temple, into the inner Egypt. And before I even stepped on the ground of modern Egypt, I visited so many temples, and I've met these guardians of the sacred wisdom teachings known as ancient gods, such as Thoth, and of course, goddess Auset and Sekhmet and Hathor. And before I went to Egypt, I wanted to make sure that I was prepared. I wanted to study the hidden teachings, the secret teachings of ancient wisdom. I was not interested in, this kind of like a base textbook story of archaeological discoveries. It was so boring. That's not something that I went there to experience. I wanted to experience the hidden, magical side of the golden age of Egypt, when it was one of the most incredible civilizations, reaching such profound opulence, not only material abundance and a great progress of society, but also spiritual illumination and a profound spiritual progress. So this is why I got really connected to the ancient Egyptian mysteries and being just drawn to learn about the Sphinx. As Sphinx is considered to be one of the largest and oldest stone sculpture that exists on this planet. And the Sphinx, from the ancient metaphysical teachings of Egypt, is a form of a connection point, a sort of like intergalactic connection point. And it was also, in the mystery school tradition, it was also considered to be an altar, a sacred place of communication with other civilizations and cultures. So I connected with the energy of Sphinx by practicing these astral travels, by projecting my consciousness into an ancient times, basically time traveling, right? And you can learn how to do that. Anybody who is patient enough and willing enough can activate those abilities of time traveling and projecting your consciousness to other places. And it was so powerful to connect with the Sphinx as the keeper of mysteries. And then when I went to Egypt on my own, it was interesting to experience, the physical statue of the Sphinx and of course the pyramids. When I first saw the pyramids, I said, and I even have a small video clip somewhere in my files, I said, nothing can prepare you for when you see the Great Pyramid. Not the pictures, not the videos, not the YouTube videos. Nothing can prepare you for when you stand in front of it. It's so much more massive than it looks. It's huge. It's enormous. And when you look at that, a sense of awe and also a sense of, it's an interesting experience to be in a modern Egypt because you have this ancient monuments and a modern culture that is quite interesting to experience, right? Except if you hang out with mystics who are actually honoring the temples and honoring the ancient wisdom. So when I was there in front of a massive pyramid, I said, nothing can prepare you before you see the mysteries. And I was curious to experience the Great Pyramid because one of my cosmic teachers is the ancient god of wisdom, god Thoth. So in the mystery school tradition, and I am opening a mystery school, we begin in 2 weeks. we apprentice directly with the ancient gods. We don't worship them. They don't need our worship. It's not like a religion. Mystery school is a path of sacred relationship and sacred communication, not only with ancient gods, but with the elements, with nature. It's a mix of shamanism, right? And the practices of training in alchemy, which is the art of raising your vibration, mastery of the mind, so you can harness the power of your mind to create by thought alone. Oh, my back is getting sore by leaning in, so let me adjust my posture so it's a little bit better. All right, this is a little better. Yeah, so the mystery school is such a beautiful path, and for me, my soul recognized it immediately as something that I've been looking all my life. And it's a path that truly gives you access to these secret teachings, these ancient mysteries that are all about healing, awakening, and empowerment of an individual to know who they truly are and what is the deeper purpose of human existence. So I start my mystery school education with ancient Egyptian lineage because that's what felt just really natural. And then, of course, I was drawn to the Atlantean teachings and the Lemurian teachings. But I find that why the mystery school tradition began, the root has been in ancient Egypt. This was the place where people were trained in magical arts. Ancient Egypt was the land of practicing magicians. So just imagine a pharaoh or a ruler, a king, a president would have his staff of magicians, practicing magicians that would help him get guidance, whether particular action was beneficial or not, the timing, right, the oracular wisdom. So they would have practicing magician, then they would also have oracles and channelers, right? They would have priestesses and priests. So the spiritual support, each pharaoh, each ruler had a massive spiritual support. And because a pharaoh's role was to represent the divinity on the planet, right? And to embody divinity. And what I love about that beautiful part of the history, a pharaoh, at least in the very beginning of ancient Egypt, before it got corrupted and taken over, in the very beginning, each pharaoh took their role with sacred responsibilities. They had to go through initiations. Pharaohs themselves had to go through spiritual initiations to prove to the people that they lead that they are disciplined and devoted and worthy enough, right? Do you want to go outside? Do you want to go to the garage? Talking to my cat. Okay, you want to go outside? Come on. Oh, come on, Gracie. A little pause in our transmission. When I move, this dress makes this beautiful sound. Gracie, come outside. So, why I've always been fascinated by the different styles of leadership that we can learn from ancient cultures, right? We can learn a lot from Incas, which is Peruvian lineage. We can learn a lot from Mayans, which is Mexican. We can learn a lot from ancient Egyptians. But one thing that unites the great leaders of ancient civilizations is their deep spiritual training. So the leaders in ancient times were not just appointed and, and they had access to that power forever. The leaders of ancient civilizations were initiates of mystery schools, a lot of them, and they had to prove their mastery, right? So their self-mastery was tested, and they had to go through these initiations to make sure that they are anchoring, right? The power and the love and wisdom and benevolence. And so they can truly rule with devotion and kindness. And of course, who comes to mind to me, one of the first king of ancient Egypt, God-man Osiris. And he was known as the most gentle and wise ruler. And there's something really moved me when I learned that he was known to be a gentle ruler. He wasn't like this macho bully beating his chest, I am the best kind of ruler. Thank God, thank Goddess, right? He was a gentle and wise ruler. And when you study Egyptian Book of the Dead, which is the manual for living well, it's literally the oldest manuscript. It's a collection of different scrolls. Some say 40 different scrolls, 38, but it has been translated and put into a beautiful, powerful translation, Egyptian Book of the Dead. And when you read that book, it's Osiris expressing himself about what it meant to incarnate as a god, taking form, a human form, and to seed civilization. And his beloved wife and the queen of Egypt, Auset, or Isis, was the first priestess, the first queen who led with love and devotion and who brought a lot of gifts to the people. So why I feel guided to start the mystery school that I'm bringing in 2 weeks and to root it in ancient Egyptian lineage, because that's what awoken my remembrance. I remember I met my dear friend Danny. I'm gonna tag her in the live stream. That was many years back when her and I met at a conference at like a spiritual entrepreneur storytelling conference. And we met and we had this instant recognition of each other. You know that feeling? You just sometimes can lock eyes with another person before you even say a word. You have a feeling that you have a destined encounter. So it was like that with my friend Danny Alchemy. Her last name is Alchemy. And we immediately connected over a conversation, over an assignment, a group assignment that was given to us. And then when we were connecting, she said, "You know who you remind me of?" And I said, "Who?" She said, "Egyptian goddess Sekhmet, the lion goddess." So I knew intellectually, on the conscious level, knew nothing about Egyptian pantheon, but all she told me was the name. And the name was like a code of remembrance, a code of remembrance. And I went home and I started researching and I started studying who was this ancient lion goddess Sekhmet, right? So that was my first introduction. And then she told me about Egyptian god Thoth, who is my true metaphysical crush. So I talk a lot about Thoth and why he is incredible and how, according to ancient mysteries, not the basic archaeological textbooks, but the ancient mysteries, Thoth was the original creator of the Great Pyramid. Not only that, Thoth was the architect behind Atlantis civilization, as well as the original concept of heaven on earth, right? Thoth was the guy or the being. I think he's to me, Thoth is very androgynous. He was the very beginning of the mystery school. So I am sharing this because I know I am not the only one. I'm not the only person who was looking for that missing piece in my spiritual development path, in my self-mastery journey, I always felt there was a deeper knowledge for me to access and to embody and to apply. I wanted to access these secret technologies that activate our consciousness, that empower us to navigate the time of great transformation and change. See, Mystery School is not an intellectual experience. It's a truly embodied process of soul transformation, where you begin to live as a soul and not just the body. And when I study ancient Egyptian mysteries, what is so striking for me is that their belief system, their training, or their understanding was that we don't have souls when we are born. We have a seed of the soul. And it's up to us to develop that seed into a mighty plant or a mighty tree. But if we don't consciously develop that seed, we never express our soul potential. To me, that was a really groundbreaking insight that felt really, really true. That it's not just about developing our mind and our personality, it's about our soul development. So we can connect to a much bigger reality, a much bigger story, and the dignity of a human experience. And when we connect to a much bigger reality, it gives us strength and courage to continue to develop that soul potential, right? So the mystery schools are returning now because it's time. And we have a real crisis on the planet. It's a crisis that not only involves environmental crisis, we have a crisis of collective soul. And so many people do not feel connected to their souls, right? Oh, thank you, Alistair. Thank you so much for this beautiful comment. He says, watering our soul with wisdom. Yes, I'm a soul nourisher. You know, it's like, what do I do? What is my life task on this planet? To be an ambassador of joy, to be a rascal, mystical rascal, and a nourisher of souls. You know, it's I feel that's the gift of the mystery teachings. They give us the superfood for our soul. They lift us up and they say, you know, where we're finding ourselves is not random. And so many of us feel resonant with a mythic path, a path of the mystic, right? Where we just feel at home when we speak the language of the archetypes, when we can map, we can map reality holographically, when we can connect to a deeper wisdom that runs through all ages. So the mystery schools are awakening, and this is what the mystery schools are popping up and unfolding their energetic doors. And I wanted to share with you, for everybody who just joined, I have not wore this dress since 2019, where I was in Egypt, but it comes with a little hat. I started it, you know, it's kind of like hard to wear this hat. It slips on my hair. But when I was on the Nile cruise, we had a dress-up opportunity. So people were dressing up as pharaohs, and I was wearing this. Right? So you just put like a little hat. Like where else would I wear this outfit? Except on Instagram Live when I talk about Mystery School that I'm opening in 2 weeks, or I am watching it's happening and I'm participating and like opening the doors. So in the Mystery School, we apprentice directly with ancient gods. And as I shared before, we don't worship them. Mystery School is not a religion. It's a path of direct experience. And why we come to the Mystery School? Because we are looking for a set of secret practices and rites, initiation rites, right? We're looking for a specific container that can hold our mystical transformation. And that's why we come to the Mystery School tradition. That's why we seek to be initiated into that lineage. And this is why it is, it's a passage. You go from one level of consciousness, one level of connection with the universe, to a next level of connection with the universe. And I know I'm not alone. I know there are so many passionate mystics who are seeking to connect to this ancient lineage, whether it's ancient Egyptian, Atlantean, Lemurian, Mayan, Inca lineage, right? There are so many different lineages. There is one mystical thread that connects them all. And it's a thread that says, it's all about soul development. It's all about developing the potential of our soul. It's all about remembering that these ancient mysteries only come to those who seek them. They do not come to anybody who passively just waits for them. They only come to those who really seek them. I remember when I first heard about Auset, the goddess of intuition, the greatest magician of all time, the greatest alchemist. I wanted to get to know her. I wanted to experience her majestic rainbow wings. I wanted to read everything that's been written about her. I wanted to learn her secret invocations. I wanted to learn her sacred practices, such as rites of Isis. And I needed a container for that, right? It wasn't something that I could just watch the YouTube video. I needed a container and dedicated practice. So for my fellow mystic who are looking for the sacred container that is lovingly held, that is rooted in integrity and devotion, I am opening a container of this nature in 2025, which is this year, March 26, right after spring equinox. And you can choose two different options. There is a main level, a group experience that takes you through 6 mystical initiations. You're going to meet 6 different ancient gods and learn about them and create your unique connection with them. And each ancient god offers you a specific gift, a specific ability, and a talent to activate, right? So it's a journey through ancient temples over 6 months. And then there is an advanced track, and I call it priest or priestess path. And of course, we need more than 6 months for mystery school training. But I wanted to start somewhere in the very fast pacing world. I felt guided to open a container for 6 months and to start this journey. And if after 6 months you feel complete and you want to go and integrate and learn and deepen on your own, you can come back for another semester later on. To me, Mystery School Path is a curriculum that I study for the rest of my life. Right? It's a path of initiation. It's ongoing initiation into the mysteries of your soul, and ongoing initiation into a deeper relationship with these archetypal beings. And you know what's so powerful about archetypes? Because mystery school tradition is all about archetypes. Connection to archetypes is a birthright of human beings. Without connection to archetypes, we would feel so disempowered and so lost. But if I tell you that, an archetype of a mother, or an archetype of a warrior, archetype of a mystic, archetype of a seer, you can connect to a certain image and a set of character qualities and a set of abilities that archetype embodies. So in the mystery school tradition, we train in archetypal wisdom. We learn to activate all these new versions of ourselves and embody them. And it's so profound because these archetypes are also interested in you. They're not just impersonal like non-personal, dormant forces. The archetypal beings are interested in conscious humans who are awakening to their mystical nature, and they're looking for that co-creative partnership. You know, everyone who comes to my home who is a mystic, which pretty much everybody who comes to my home is a mystic. It's a mystic temple. They often tell me this: wow, the energy that is being cultivated here. And I say, thank you. The home is being purified every single day, and I'm a temple keeper. But the true magic happens in the temple within the temple, in my ritual room, where every deity, every archetypal being that I work with is invoked constantly. It's a relationship, and then they begin to weave their wisdom and their magic through you. And you have this co-creative partnership. And the goddess Isis expresses through you. The goddess Hathor expresses through you. Osiris and Thoth, right? And Anubis expressing through you. They're channeling their energy through you. And this is why it's so different, the mystery school tradition versus a religion. Two very different things. In the religion and the traditional religious path, you have an object or a being of worship, right? That you seek salvation or some kind of a redemption through. In the mystery school tradition, you have already been redeemed, right? You are here, you are a divine soul, and you are here to become a vessel for your higher self and for these divine beings who have been with origination of humanity from the very beginning. You're becoming a vessel, a translator, a representative, a channel of divinity. See the difference? Massive difference. Massive difference. So that is why when you come to the mystical path, right, you say, oh, this is the path that has been calling me and calling me and calling me. So, my darlings, I get to save some time today. I am in my creation lab. One of my online students gave me a brilliant idea yesterday. She said, Katarina, I wish you created a series of temple activation, like an audio album that takes you through these temple journeys. And you know, I do them pretty much at every mystical training that I teach. I'll always have a mystical activation. So I'm going to do that. And also a sweet opportunity right now to remind and to share with you that I just announced the unicorn offer. So I actually have a golden unicorn. Do you want to see it? It's amazing. And the unicorn offer came to me as a divine download, which how I receive all my inspiration, and I can teach you how to do that for yourself. I think it's the most natural way. But look, here's Bast. I love Bast. Bast is the goddess of pleasure. So mystery school, you can also be a priest or priestess of pleasure. That's the path that I also walk, and I love it. Priestess of ecstasy, it's even on my website. But take a look at this unicorn, this magical unicorn. Oh, this unicorn came to me, and then I got this inspiration to offer to my community a unicorn offer. It's a mysterious offer, just how a unicorn is, mystical and mysterious. So neither you nor I know what's going to be in it. I already start receiving this morning, receiving the name of the curriculum. It's never been taught. It's completely brand new, and it's going to be over several classes. And it's offered right now at $99, a founding price for the mystical unicorns who are jumping in. And it's a very playful way to invite you into this experience, right? And also to encourage you to trust your superpower, which is your intuition. Yes, it's a one-time payment, and when you join, you get access to 2 courses. So since I'm asking you to wait for that offer to start, you can start with 2 courses that will magically unlock to you right away. And the value of those is $200 plus. So the unicorn offer can be divination arts, can be channeling, can be magic, like a real magical practices, but it will be relevant and channeled for the group with this vision to empower, to inspire, and to give you new set of practices to navigate your reality, even with more joy, even with more clarity, even with more tranquility. And for those mystics who are yearning for mystery school experience, it opens its doors in 2 weeks. And what I do differently for this offering, yes, you can ask me to send you a link for Priestess Path or for a main path. You can also book a 30 minutes free discovery conversation with me. I'm very transparent about pricing, so you can see the investment for that. And if you feel it's a genuine yes for you, it's a genuine, I am so pulled to this invitation, but you just have a few questions you want to ask me, you can book 30 minutes free call. And because I want to make sure it's a fit for you as well. I welcome already the first initiates. It's gathering, so the mystery school is happening. And I would love for those mystics who are looking for this kind of activation and transformation, this message can reach you, right? For me, it was absolutely game changer to connect with this lineage and to practice with these ancient gods. They empower you, they transform you, they speed up your remembrance, right? And this is why mystery schools are opening right now, beloveds, because we're going through a very interesting time. We're going through the time of really accelerated collapse of the old, while simultaneously the birth of the new. It's not either or, it's a simultaneous process, right? And we need the magic, exactly. We love the idea of the magical surprises. We totally need the magic, because the magic nourishes us. It lifts us up. It connects us with the timeless. It opens us up to our own creative abilities. It tells us there is so much more, and you are just getting started, and it's never too late, and you can start over. One thing that I love about the cosmology or the view of ancient Egyptians who were initiates in mystery schools, every single day they would begin with greeting the sun, and every single morning they would count that morning as the beginning of their life. Just take this in with me. How beautiful this. Imagine putting that into practice. That every morning when you wake up and you greet the sun, in my mystery school, we're going to learn these very powerful mystical postures that you can use to activate archetypal connection. So they would greet the sun with the posture of power and reverence. And they would start their morning as if this was the first day of their life and their birth. That means they would not drag anything from the past. They would make sure before they went to sleep, they would clear their soul, they would clear their mind, they would unburden their hearts. And what a beautiful and clean way to move through life. Every morning is a new beginning. So this is just a snippet of what ancient mysteries can teach you, how to live differently, how to live in a deeper way. And then, of course, there were these secret rites, secret initiation rites. Some of them you had to be trained for 10, 20 years in order to be prepared for that rite. In the mystery school that I'm opening, we are going to modernize, that's the word, adapt the teachings so we can actually utilize them in our modern time. We will keep to the original purity of the teachings, and we're also going to adapt them, because that's what the ancient masters would want us to do. They would say, adapt the teachings to your times. But we will orient to that lineage and many others to remember, what it means to be an initiate of light, a soul yearning for greatness. So this was Katarina. Thank you so much for joining live with me. This was so fun and amazing, and I'm so glad I got to wear this dress. Where else I gotta wear this dress? On a cruise, on the River Nile, and on Instagram Live. Thank you so much. If you're interested in any of the offerings that I announced, unicorn offering is in the link in bio. Send me a private message for a mystery school application, and the link to join will begin in 2 weeks. And I'm sending you a big, big, warm, loving embrace from my heart to yours.